SEBI mechanisms are very robust. We have all sorts of data. It is just that building a story around that data is what officers do.
So, आपने बताया कि you are in the surveillance department of SEBI. So, what is the role and responsibility of that department? And जो आप 3 साल वहाँ पे थे, what were your roles and responsibilities?
Yeah, this is quite interesting. So, to be very honest, I had never had a brush with capital markets before that.
Okay.
मुझे डर लगता था कि मतलब कैपिटल मार्केट में कैसे इन्वेस्ट करें, क्या करें. In fact, when I was at ICICI Bank, I had taken small steps towards investment, but those investments were still on the safe investment वाला रास्ता. म्यूचुअल फंड्स में डाल दिए थोड़ा जिस रेगुलर इन्वेस्टमेंट इनकम प्रोडक्ट्स में डाले. When I landed in SEBI, when we were having that initial training phase was fantastic. it was fun to the next level. It was fantastic. Where have I landed? And after that, they teach you the ins and outs of what the capital markets is. Quite a lot of stalwarts in the industry, they come to brief you regarding what is the capital markets industry in its totality. SEBI, in its preamble, says it has got 3 primary responsibilities. The first is regulation of the market, of course. Then you have development of the market, coming up with new products. Then you have protection of investor interest.
Okay.
Now, as a surveillance department, we were on the forefront of protecting investors. In the sense कि market में कुछ ऐसी मतलब SEBI has got policies, SEBI has got laws, everything is out in the open.
Right.
Are people misusing some sort of voids in one of these loopholes and rules to make profit or maximize their own gains at the cost of something else?
Okay.
Which probably may not be in the right interest of the wider market in general. Or are people using the capital markets platform to abuse, let's say, a tax saving instrument or something to do in a grey territory somewhere else? And whether all of these regulations and compliances are being followed by people. लोग शेयर मार्केट में इतने बड़े-बड़े बल्क ट्रेड्स कर रहे हैं, चीजें खरीद रहे हैं, बेच रहे हैं. Are they disclosing things at the right time to the market? Because they say, this is a very normal saying these days, कि markets are wise. Markets know everything. But for markets to know everything, there has to be a mechanism in place which ensures that all of that information gets to the market at the right time.
Because information asymmetry is the biggest problem.
Yes, information asymmetry is the biggest problem. Some of the biggest challenges which you used to face in the surveillance department was something around insider trading. किसी को कुछ price sensitive.
क्या होता है insider trading?
So insider trading is something. Let's say there is a news item, which if comes out in the market can have an impact on the price movement of that share.
अच्छा.
But that is not publicly available at this point in time. The company is withholding that information. They'll release it maybe later when it is the right time to release. But somehow through some internal channels, some select cohort of people get to know about it. Using their own internal channels, using their subsidiaries, parties, people they know, they give out this information to somebody else. And then they take positions in that particular script on the basis they're buying, selling, some forward contracts, future contracts, buying an option around it. तो वो कुछ पोजीशन ले रहे हैं जिसके बेसिस पे जब मार्केट में इन्फॉर्मेशन आएगा they will make a killing out of it.
Understood.
Now this is across the world, this is illegal.
Right.
This is not allowed. But how do you get to, आप वहां तक पहुंचेंगे कैसे कि आपको पता चले इंसाइडर इंफॉर्मेशन के बेसिस पे इसने ट्रेड किया है. Proving this is the most difficult part. If suppose you get hold of somebody and you know through circumstantial evidence कि इसके ट्रेडिंग पैटर्न से ये ट्रेड मैच नहीं हो रहा है, ये जनरली ऐसे ट्रेड करता था, वैसे ट्रेड करता, अचानक से इस कंपनी में जाके क्यों शेयर करेगा, और हमने देखा 10-20 दिन के बाद ये ऐसे चला गया. What prompted him to do it? What sort of a connection is there? SEBI mechanisms are very robust. We have all sorts of data. It is just that building a story around that data is what officers do. You know, we need to understand this कि data की कमी कहीं नहीं है. Data बहुत है. Data को एक story line में पिरोना ही expertise है. That आपने ये चीज देखी, इस डेटा को उससे लिंक किया, उस डेटा को इससे लिंक किया, यहाँ पे ये सर्कल बनाया, कोई अगर मिसिंग पीस है तो उस वाले चीज को आप प्लग कैसे करेंगे? In order to create a watertight kind of a case, that even if he goes to judicial bodies for seeking intervention into the action which you've taken, you should have a watertight case against him. Market should not feel that it is a regulatory overhang kind of a thing. Now, it's a very thin kind of a balance which needs to be maintained, and there are structures in place within the organization to help us do it.